This is Aubrey Lodewyk from South Africa, and you are listening to Awaaz Radio in Southampton. The play we're doing is Mandela Trilogy, and the characters. First of all, there's 3 different Mandelas throughout the play. Each Mandela plays a different part of Mandela's life. The younger Mandela plays his life in the Transkei growing up. The middle-aged one plays his life in Johannesburg as a political activist and becoming a lawyer. And the third one, which is me, I play the one who's just got arrested and sent off to Robben Island and all the other prisons for 27 years. The music throughout the piece is operatic in the beginning and in the third act, and the second act is very uptown, Sophiatown jazz music, pretty much musical theater style in Act 2, and then the third act becomes operatic again. The characters that are in the piece obviously are the 3 Mandelas, who are each a main character in the act, and then there's people like Dolly, who had an affair with Tata Mandela, and then there's Father Huddleston, who was always on next to traveling, going around with Mandela, and then there were the prison guards in the prison, for example, in Act 3. Those are the characters, the important characters throughout the play. The show is on tour at the moment. We started in Cardiff 2 weeks ago, and then we had a concert version in London at the Royal Festival Hall, and now we are in Southampton, very excited to be back here again. And we are off to Dublin for next week, and then we're doing Birmingham and Manchester, and then we're back home to South Africa. The reason why I think Mandela Trilogy has to be heard and seen by the public right now, it's been exactly 3 years after his death, and I think it is a relevant piece of theater that has to be heard by the audience. Because I always make a joke about it and say, well, he was such a great man, let's hear him sing. Which is kind of a joke. But and we've always been watching movies about Mandela and reading about his life, and now people get to see all of that on a stage in an operatic fashion and also musical theater, which combines basically 2 evenings in one. If you want to see it as a musical, you're going to see it. If you want to see it as an opera, again, it's going to be there. It is significant, I think, that the play comes to a city like Southampton because there are so many different cultures in South Africa, and I know there are in Southampton. Sorry, there are so many different cultures in Southampton, and I know there are South Africans as well. And I've heard by the grapevine that there is a Mandela Street or street named after Mandela in Southampton. So yeah, I think the people will definitely come and enjoy this play. We are expecting a very diverse audience, young and old, because young children can come to the opera as long as they're not going to cry, because they need to learn about the history, our South African history. I think it is very important for them to know exactly what happened in those days, and it's exciting for them. It's a nice play. It is safe. The music is lovely. They will jam and dance to the second part of the play of the opera. The third part of the opera, they will feel a bit sad. I know it's going to be depressing, especially the part where Tata Mandela gets a letter that says his son his firstborn son Thembi just passed away. But at the end of the day, they will be learning a lot about South African history and where we come from as Black people.